Welcome to the ServSafe Test Prep. This is the ServSafe Manager practice test. We have gathered another 50 questions with explained answers from the ServSafe exam providers. So let's get started. Question 1. Which of the following is not a self-service guideline? A. Only label TCS food items. B. Buffets need sneeze guards. C. Keep hot foods at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. D. Do not allow customers to refill dirty plates. And the correct answer is option A. Only label TCS food items. Self-service areas like buffets need labels on each item. Question 2. Which of the following is not considered a service guideline to prevent cross contamination? A. Setting a wine glass down by the stem. B. Touching all plates by their outside edge. C. Wearing single use gloves to take orders. D. Placing a fish knife on the table with the handle up. And the correct answer is option C. Wearing single use gloves to take orders. Single use gloves need only be worn when making contact with ready to eat foods. Question 3. Which of the following is true of food service chemicals? A. Chemicals can cause chemical contamination. B. Chemicals may be stored on the top shelf of pantry storage. C. Chemicals may be stored in the dish room under the dish machine. D. Chemicals may be combined in larger containers for ease of storage. And the correct answer is option A. Chemicals can cause chemical contamination. Food service chemicals can cause chemical contamination and should be stored in designated areas away from food, equipment, and utensils in their original containers and always under food, equipment, and utensils. Question 4. Hazard analysis critical control point is an blank that should be specific to your food service operation. A. Personal hygiene plan. B. Inventory rotation system. C. Master cleaning schedule. D. Food safety management system. And the correct answer is option D. Food safety management system. HACCP is a food safety management system specific to your facility, staff, and customers that identifies the biological, chemical, or physical hazards that might occur in your facility at specific points along the flow of food so they can be prevented, reduced to safe levels, or even eliminated. Question 5. Which of the following is not a type of approved cleaner used in food service operations? A. Delimer. B. Chlorine. C. Detergent. D. Degreaser. And the correct answer is option B. Chlorine. Cleaning can be done using non-corrosive detergents, delimers, degreasers, and abrasive cleaners that are safe to use. Chlorine is a type of chemical sanitizer. Question 6. Which of the following will not require a variance? A. A smoker. B. Sprouting seeds. C. A live lobster tank. D. A wood burning pizza oven. And the correct answer is option D. A wood burning pizza oven. Some preparations require a variance issued by a local regulatory authority. A variance allows you to waive or change a regulatory requirement, such as smoking foods, packaging fresh juice for on site sale, using additives, curing, custom processing, or dressing large game, reduced oxygen packaging, and modified atmosphere packaging foods, vacuum packaged foods, foods prepared sous vide, sprouting seeds or beans, and a live shellfish display tank, though your local establishment might need special permission to install and use a wood burning pizza oven. A wood burning pizza oven does not require a variance. Question 7. When using a dry cloth to wipe spills from the edges of plates, Erin must remember it. A. Cannot remain dry to be effective. B. Cannot be visibly dirty when in use. C. Should be stored in a bucket of sanitizer when not in use. D. Must be stored in a bucket of hot soapy water when not in use. And the correct answer is option B. Cannot be visibly dirty when in use. Dry and wet clothes are used in cleaning and sanitizing, but must never be used interchangeably. Dry cloths used for wiping the edge of plates or spills from tables cannot be visibly dirty or contain food debris when in use. Question 8. Which of the following cannot be reserved to customers? A. An unopened foil of butter. B. An unopened packet of crackers. C. An untouched basket of bread rolls. D. Unopened mustard container or packets. And the correct answer is option C. An untouched basket of bread rolls. Only unopened packaged foods in nice condition can be reserved to customers. Question 9. Which of the following safety practices can prevent cross contact? A. Using only NSF grade equipment. B. Keeping fish frozen until time to cook. C. Using separate oil to fry potatoes and fish. D. Purchasing from a safe and reliable source. And the correct answer is option C. Using separate oil to fry potatoes and fish. Using the same oil to fry fish and then potatoes can pass allergens from the fish to the potatoes, which could put someone with a fish allergy in danger of cross contact. Question 10. Tabletop equipment that isn't sealed to the counter must be blank inches of the counter for ease of cleaning. A 1, B 2, C 4, D 6. And the correct answer is option C 4. Food service equipment that will come in contact with food must meet specific standards and must also be durable, damage resistant, and simple to clean. Tabletop equipment must be 4 inches of the counter. Question 11. The cold foods being held without temperature control at a catered event can be held for up to blank hours. A 2, B 3, C 4, D 6. And the correct answer is option D 6. Cold foods can be held without temperature control for up to 6 hours if they were prepared properly. have written procedures for use, and have written approval from your local regulatory authority as long as the food's temperature does not rise above 70 degrees Fahrenheit during service. Any cold food that reaches 70 degrees Fahrenheit during service must be discarded. Question 12. In which of these cases should a case of fresh turkey cutlets be rejected? A. The flesh is moist. B. The flesh is pink and firm. C. The receiving temperature is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. D. The shell stock identification tags are missing. And the correct answer is option C. The receiving temperature is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. A case of fresh poultry, such as turkey cutlets, should have the correct color and consistency, no odor, and be 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower when received. Question 13. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for salmon steaks? A. 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. B. 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. C. 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. D. 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. And the correct answer is option B, 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. Minimum internal cooking temperatures reduce pathogens to safe labels, and certain foods require certain temperatures. All seafood other than ground, sticks, chops, including commercially raised game and shell eggs that will be immediately served, need to cook to 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. Question 14. In a cooler with 5 shelves, on which shelf would you store ground fish? A. Second. B. Third. C. Fourth. D. Fifth. And the correct answer is option C. Fourth. Refrigerated storage shelf order helps prevent cross contamination and should be in the following top to bottom order: ready to eat, seafood, whole cuts of beef and pork, ground meat and ground fish, poultry. So the fourth shelf will be the proper place for ground fish. Question 15. What is the final step in cleaning and sanitizing a food preparation surface? A. Rinse. B. Air dry. C. Sanitize. D. Dry cloth dry. And the correct answer is option B. Air dry. Food preparation surfaces should air dry as the final step in cleaning and sanitizing to protect from recontamination. Question 16. Which of the following is not a situation that will require the use of pasteurized eggs? A. Preparing a mousse. B. Making a salad dressing. C. Offering an omelette station. D. Serving a base of primarily high risk customers. And the correct answer is option C. Offering an omelette station. Pasteurized eggs should be used in dishes that require little to no cooking, like dressings, sauces, or mousse, and when you primarily serve high risk populations. Question 17. Where should your kitchen staff eat, smoke, or chew gum while at work? A. In the dining area. B. In designated areas. C. In the laundry room. D. Never while at work. And the correct answer is option B. In designated areas. Personal hygiene programs include procedures put in place to help keep contamination to a minimum. Procedures include, but are not limited to, training, wearing clean uniforms and restrained hair, and designating places to eat, smoke, and chew gum. Question 18. Bet is making chicken salad with leftover chicken that was cooked, held, cooled, labeled, and stored properly for 4 days. She will have to discard this chicken salad in blank days. A 1, B 2, C 3, D 4. And the correct answer is option C 3. Mixed salads containing cooked TCS foods are common foodborne illness culprits. Discard mixed salads according to the ingredient with the earliest use by date. Never use TCS foods that are over 7 days old. Question 19. Chris is reheating soup to be held on the hot buffet. The soup should be heated to blank for blank seconds within blank hours of its removal from refrigerated storage to ensure food safety. A. 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within 4 hours. B. 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within 2 hours. C. 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within 2 hours. D. 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within 4 hours. And the correct answer is option C, 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within 2 hours. Foods being reheated for hot holding service have gone through the hot holding and cool down process and will be held again. So, should be reheated properly to ensure food safety. Question 20. Your daily hot lunch buffet runs from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. The temperature of foods being hot held should remain at 135 degrees Fahrenheit to be safe, and the temperature must be checked at least every blank hours. A 1, B 2, C 3, D 4. And the correct answer is option D 4. Buffet foods are at risk for time temperature abuse and should be checked with the proper thermometer inserted into the food every 4 hours. It may also be checked every 2 hours to leave time for corrective action if needed. Question 21. What does the A in fat tom stand for? A. Acid. B. Air gap. C. Allergens. D. Hepatitis A. And the correct answer is option A. Acid. We use the acronym FATTOM to help us remember the conditions that promote bacterial growth so we may prevent it. FATTOM stands for food, acid, time, temperature, oxygen, and moisture. Question 22. Which of the following is not a guideline for additive use? A. Never add sulfides to produce served raw. B. Never use more than that allowed by law. C. Never use additives to alter a food's appearance. D. Never store foods with additives beside TCS foods. And the correct answer is option D. Never store foods with additives besides TCS foods. Approved food or color additives may be used, but only what's allowed by law, and they should never be used to modify a food's appearance. Never sell produce treated with sulfides before receiving, and never add sulfides to produce that will be eaten raw. Question 23. Monica is prepping shrimp for the salad bar on the same cutting board as the lettuce. This is an example of blank. A. Restriction. B. Reconditioning. C. Cross contamination. D. Time temperature abuse. And the correct answer is option C. Cross contamination. Cross contamination is the spreading of harmful pathogens from one place to another, and prepping a raw TCS, time and temperature control for safety ingredient near or ready to eat ingredients is an example of cross contamination. Question 24. Randy is checking the temperature of today's delivery items when the bimetallic stemmed thermometer drops to the floor. What should Randy do next? A. Sanitize the thermometer and keep using it. B. Recalibrate the thermometer in a package of cold food. C. Replace that thermometer with an infrared thermometer. D. Recalibrate the thermometer using the ice point method. And the correct answer is option D. Recalibrate the thermometer using the ice point method. Bimetallic stem thermometers should be calibrated if they have been dropped or bumped, exposed to extreme temperature changes before deliveries and before each shift. Using either the ice point or boiling point method, thermometers are an integral tool in food service kitchens and should always be kept in working order to protect against temperature abuse. Proper personal hygiene, hand washing, and sanitation protocols should also be followed whenever retrieving a dropped item from the floor, but the answer option that includes sanitize will not address the need for recalibration, so it will not be correct. Question 25. Shay has been diagnosed with Salmonella typhi. What should happen? A. They should be excluded from work. B. They should be restricted from accepting deliveries. C. They should be moved from food prep to the dish room. D. They should be isolated to their own prep table to work. And the correct answer is option A. They should be excluded from work. Employees experiencing vomiting, diarrhea, or jaundice, or employees diagnosed with norovirus, hepatitis A, Shigella spp, Shiga toxin producing E. coli, Salmonella typhi, or non-typhoidal salmonella, or living with someone who has been diagnosed except non-typhoidal salmonella must be excluded from work. Question 26. Which of the following foods is not commonly associated with toxins being found in them when they are time temperature abused? A. Plants. B. Poultry. C. Seafood. D. Mushrooms. And the correct answer is option B. poultry. Naturally occurring toxins can be found in some plants, mushrooms, and seafood, and some toxins are created when pathogens become time temperature abuse. Toxins can't be slowed or prevented by cooking, so always purchase these items from approved reputable sources. Question 27. The FDA's public health interventions specifically say blank should be checked every 2 hours to protect against time temperature risk. A. Hot held foods. B. Cold TCS foods. C. Sanitizing such solution. D. Foods received cold. And the correct answer is option A. Hot held foods. The FDA's public health interventions are designed to control common risk factors that lead to foodborne illness, and their time temperature recommendation is to temp hot held foods every 2 hours and limit foods time in the TDZ. Question 28. Which of the following does not affect a sanitizer's concentration and its ability to work effectively? A. Water hardness. B. Water temperature. C. Material of the item. D. Contact time with an item. And the correct answer is option C. Material of the item. The material an item is made of does not affect a sanitizer's ability to work effectively, but the time the item is submerged in sanitizer, the water temperature, hardness, and pH do affect sanitizer solution. Question 29. The best way to prevent a backflow of contaminated water in your facility's plumbing is blank. A. An air gap. B. A grease trap. C. An emergency plan. D. A ventilation system. And the correct answer is option A. An air gap. Cross connections that may allow backsiphonage must be prevented. The best prevention is to create an air gap. Correctly installed sinks usually have two air gaps, one at the faucet and one at the drain pipe. Question 30. Angel is in a hurry and running a rack of glasses through the dish machine. He pre-rinses them, loads them into a plate rack, runs them through the machine, and lets them air dry. What did he do wrong? A. Use time to pre-rinse glasses. B. Uses the wrong rack to save time. C. Never checks the dish operating time. D. Air dries them knowing it will take longer. And the correct answer is option B. Uses the wrong rack to save item. Always pre-rinse dishwasher items. Load them into the correct rack without overcrowding and allow them to air dry. Question 31. Hot foods being held without temperature control must be discarded after blank hours. A1, B2, C4, D6. And the correct answer is option C, 4. Hot foods can be held without temperature control for up to 4 hours. If the food was held at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, or the food is labeled with a discard time that's 4 hours from time of removal. Question 22. Sophia is labeling foods to be transported for off-site catering. Which of the following is not necessary to include on the label? A. Use by date. B. Use by time. C. Discard instructions. D. Reheating instructions. And the correct answer is option C. Discard instructions. Label foods for catered events with the name, use by date and time, and reheating and serving instructions. Question 33. Which of the following items will not be delivered with a document when ordered from a reliable supplier? A. Shellfish. B. Farm raised fish. C. Whole frozen fish. D. Fish to be eaten raw. And the correct answer is option C. Whole frozen fish. Shellfish are delivered with shell stock ID tags. Fish to be eaten raw or partially cooked have documents noting they have been properly frozen, and farm raised fish have documents noting they were raised to FDA standards. Question 34. Which of the following is not considered an important part of a restaurant's personal hygiene plan? A. Reporting illness. B. Wearing minimal jewelry. C. Wearing clean aprons all day. D. Wearing your gloves all day. And the correct answer is option D. Wearing your gloves all day. Gloves can add an extra layer of protection after hand washing, but should be discarded and changed after 4 hours of continuous use. Question 35. Which of the following is not one of the major bacteria that cause foodborne illness? A. E. coli. B. Shigella. C. Hepatitis A. D. Non-typhoidal salmonella. And the correct answer is option C. Hepatitis A. While hepatitis A is one of the harmful pathogens that causes foodborne illness, it is not a bacteria but a virus. Bacteria can be prevented by internal cooking temperatures, while a virus can only be prevented by good personal hygiene. Question 36. A customer begins to exhibit signs of an allergic reaction. Which of these foods is the most likely cause of allergic symptoms? A. An apple. B. A soy latte. C. A rare hamburger. D. Cold tomato soup. And the correct answer is option B. A soy latte. Soy is one of the foods listed among the Big Eight, which is a list of the 8 most common foods associated with allergic reactions. The Big Eight are foods that cause up 90% of allergic reactions. Although a rare hamburger contains TCS ingredients and is being served raw or undercooked, which may increase the risk of foodborne illness. Rare beef is not one of the big 8. Beef can be served rare if requested by a customer without a significant allergy risk. The other two answer choices are not on the big 8 list. Question 37. Paul just received a shipment of frozen shrimp. Which of the following is not a sign of time temperature abuse in frozen foods? A. An odor. B. A box with loose tape. C. A package covered with ice crystals. D. A box with water stains on the bottom. And the correct answer is option B. A box with loose tape. Frozen foods with fluid stains, ice crystals, or any sign of poor quality, such as an odor or the wrong texture, should be rejected? Question 38. The inventory rotation system that ensures all items are used first is known as blank. A. MOP. B. ROP. C. FIFO. D. HACCP. And the correct answer is option C. FIFO. The FIFO, or first in, first out method of inventory rotation, means storing items with earliest use by dates in front of items with later use by dates, ensuring quality and food safety. Question 39. Which of these should be rejected? A. Eggs received at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. B. Creamy soup received at 130 degrees Fahrenheit. C. Spinach received in a clear package. D. A package of frozen fish sticks received frozen solid. And the correct answer is option B. Creamy soup received at 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot TCS foods must be received at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Question 40. Which of the following is not a standard of good pest prevention? A. Fill all ceiling cracks. B. Clean up spills immediately. C. Take the trash out regularly. D. Keep supplies 9 inches off the floor. And the correct answer is option D. Keep supplies 9 inches off the floor. Supplies should be kept 6 inches from the floor and wall. While keeping them 9 inches off the floor will certainly be even better, it is not the required standard. Question 41. How can a food handler reduce or eliminate the risk of food contamination? A. Washing their hands after using the restroom. B. Taking medication after visiting a sick friend. C. Storing cleaning products in easy to reach locations in the kitchen. D. Rinsing knives and cutting boards with hot water when moving between prep items. And the correct answer is option A. Washing their hands after using the restroom. Washing your hands after engaging in an activity that may cause contamination, such as using the restroom, touching your face, or touching dirty surfaces or equipment before handling food, is an important and effective way to avoid contaminating food. Proper hand washing can greatly reduce the risk of physical, chemical, and pathogenic contaminants in food preparation. Question 42. One of the FDA recommended food safety responsibilities of a manager is A. Providing maintenance for the facility. B. Making and approving staff schedules. C. Inspecting the quality of food items prepared off premises for serving the facility. D. Supervising food handlers to ensure hot and cold food holding temperatures are regularly monitored. And the correct answer is option D. Supervising food handlers to ensure hot and cold food holding temperatures are regularly monitored. Ensuring that food handling staff are following proper procedures for temping and holding hot and cold foods is an essential duty of a food service manager. This action provides oversight and accountability and can prevent unsafe food from being served to customers. Question 43. Ready to eat food should never be handled with bare hands. In what situation? A. When the food will be cooked to at least 140 degrees Fahrenheit. B. When there is not a proper hand washing station available. C. When food is being served to a high risk population like children or the elderly. D. Ready to eat food should never be handled with bare hands, regardless of the situation. And the correct answer is option C. When food is being served to a high risk population like children or the elderly. While there are some situations where bare hand contact with food is considered acceptable, it should never occur when serving a high risk population. All precautions should be followed when serving these populations to reduce the possibility of cross contamination as much as possible. Question 44. When should a delivery be inspected? A. Immediately upon receiving the delivery. B. When staff has time to inspect the delivery correctly. C. After all products have been placed in their appropriate storage areas. D. When the specific staff responsible for inspecting deliveries is available. And the correct answer is option A. Immediately upon receiving the delivery. Deliveries should be inspected as soon as they arrive. So, make sure to schedule deliveries when staff has the time to inspect them. If possible, designate specific staff members to conduct inspections and be sure they and other staff know what to look for, how to return items, etc. Be prepared for expected deliveries by having space prepared for the new items and the needed tools on hand like dollars, thermometers, etc. Question 45. Why is it advisable to only remove the amount of food you can prep in a short period of time from the cooler? A. To prevent time temp abuse. B. To prevent excess food waste. C. To prevent cross contamination. D. To reduce clutter and mess on food prep surfaces. And the correct answer is option A. To prevent time temp abuse. Removing more food than can be prepped in a short period extends the amount of time that the food may be subjected to time temp abuse. Once food has been prepped, cook it to the proper temperature or return it to the cooler as quickly as possible. Make sure all prep stations and tools are cleaned and sanitized before starting any prep. Question 46. It is discovered that a steam table holding hot soup has broken down and the soup may have been unheated for as long as 3 hours. What should be done with the soup? A. Fix the steam table immediately and allow it to reheat the soup. B. Reheat the soup to 135 degrees Fahrenheit and transfer it to a working steam table. C. Discard the soup, heat a new batch to 135 degrees Fahrenheit and place it on a working steam table. D. Combine the cooled soup with new, adequately heated soup and place it in a working steam table. And the correct answer is option C. Discard the soup, heat a new batch to 135 degrees Fahrenheit and place it on a working steam table. Temperatures should be monitored regularly, at least once every 4 hours. However, if temperatures are checked every 2 hours, it allows time for corrective action. Food found to be out of the proper temperature zone can be reheated and served in this shorter time frame. Question 47. Performing procedural checks every shift to identify problems and comparing and analyzing temperature logs each week are examples of which principle in the HACCP system. A. Principle 4. Establishing monitoring procedures. B. Principle 5. Identifying corrective actions. C. Principle 6. Verifying that the system works. D. Principle 7. Establishing procedures for record keeping and documentation. And the correct answer is option C. Principle 6. Verifying that the system works. Performing regular checks of procedure can help determine if all critical limits were met and what, if any, corrective action needed to be taken. Analyzing and comparing records like hot or cold food temperatures, food storage items, and equipment performance can help identify any issues that need to be addressed or verify that the systems in place are working properly. Question 48. When heat sanitizing items, they must be submerged in water that is at least 171 degrees Fahrenheit or at least blank. A. 10 seconds. B. 20 seconds. C. 30 seconds. D. 60 seconds. And the correct answer is option C. 30 seconds. Sanitizing can be accomplished using either heat or chemicals. For heat sanitizing, items must be submerged in water at or above 171 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 30 seconds to ensure proper sanitization. High temperature dishwashers may also be used for this purpose. Question 49. What can hand sinks be used for? A. Hand washing only. B. Rinsing fresh produce. C. Thawing frozen product. D. Rinsing bath towels and sanitizer towels. And the correct answer is option A. Hand washing only. Given their importance, hand washing stations must be used for hand washing only to prevent cross contamination. Any activities other than hand washing can introduce pathogens into the area or block the sink from being used for its intended purpose. They must be well stocked and fully accessible to staff at all times. Question 50. How long should hands and arms be scrubbed during hand washing? A. 5 to 10 seconds. B. 10 to 15 seconds. C. 15 to 20 seconds. D. 20 to 25 seconds. And the correct answer is option B. 10 to 15 seconds. Hand washing is the most important part of personal hygiene. When washing hands, they should be scrubbed for 10 to 15 seconds. Hands should only be washed in designated hand washing sinks. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your family and friends.